you're all having a good Monday. Sheets is probably he's gonna try to join us in like 10 minutes. Hopefully he makes it. If not, I'm gonna share through what my thoughts are on the slate, and we'll obviously get Sheets if you can pop in here. Check out Rhodey's playbook. He put that out recently, and you might want to follow Rhodey these days. The guy is on fire every week. Seems like he wins 50K seat, and man, he's been crushing it. So shout out to Rhodey. And great job by him, and keep an eye out for his playbook as well. I posted my stuff in the Discord and on the site, et cetera, et cetera. With that said, we'll get into the slate and what I'm sort of doing. Starting at pitcher. Okay, so I'm not playing a ton of lineups. I've got like 15 in the whatever, $15, and then I've got the couple in the 88, the 250, the 121, all that stuff. And then like the 44, a few of the entries in those. So I'm not playing like a massive amount of lineups. I can say, though, that as far as pitching goes, I am going to be the most overweight of it. I'm going to have Reagan's the most of any pitcher by far. I understand that I'm going to have to be underweight Peralta. I'm going sorting by Goldie's projections here. I'm going to be underweight Peralta. I have probably about with the field on Crochet, maybe a little bit above the field. And then I got it in the mix with some other guys. Like I have Justin Steele right now. I've got 20% of, which is looking like it's pretty close to the field as well. Lance Lynn, I have 20% of. For what it's worth, Lance Lynn has completely dominated. Like it hasn't been that many appearances, but it's 111 at bats from the guys who are facing him today, and he's basically been like the best pitcher ever against this specific lineup. And I don't mind taking a little gamble and taking a little Lance Lynn. I also don't mind taking a little gamble and taking some James Paxton. So that's another one that I ended up getting to that I did not initially expect to. The big one that I'm going to be playing both sides of is going to be Griffin Canning. I am going to play Griffin Canning more than the field. I also am going to play a lot of Oakland where I don't have in my non-Canning lineups for what it's worth. Speaking of which, getting the stack, go position by position. Oh, wait, is that Sheets right there? There we go.
Way behind, but I figured I would check in at least now. I have to update my projections and everything else, but I figured I would see if what you thought. I mean, I was thinking about the slate a little bit, and it's funny when I run the Sims and I run everything in general, I get like all these like wild combinations of things, and I'd like to just play the guys that I like. It's like you have those three guys at the top, right? Mm-hmm. I can't really separate them, honestly. And then you have Canning if you want to pay down, and then Steele. I mean, those are really the pool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I want to do the Paxton, but that everything else is off the board. You know what I mean? Like like Bassett, Houck, even the San Diego guy. So as far as pitches, I think I'm going to limit myself to those pitchers. Is that overly restrictive or no?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I the guys I got to, I didn't get to as much Peralta as the field, but I'm overweight on Reagan's, a little bit overweight on Crochet. I'm well overweight on Griffin Canning, but I'm also playing a lot of Oakland stacks where I'm not playing Canning. And I am going to play some of the James Paxton and some of the Lance Lynn because they're off the board. I was mentioning about Lynn. With the lineup the Braves are putting out there, he's faced them. It's not a crazy amount, but 111 plate appearances, which is a decent amount. It's 39 strikeouts in that time, and I think he's only given up like a few runs in like 6 starts. I'll take a shot with Lance Lynn and gamble a little bit, but mostly my biggest buy-ins are going to be the guys you mentioned. Reagan's being my number one by pretty far right now. Again, a little nerve-wracking because the theory is everyone wants to play KC on the other side because of how great a hitting weather it is. And then you're taking the pitcher in that game, but it is Miami. It's a good enough matchup, and Reagan's is just awesome. So both the two, it isn't a weird slate though to me where my two highest owned pitchers are facing two of the. I mean, a difficult matchup for the weather. They have the best weather game in KC, and then Crochet against the Dodgers. It does feel a little funny, but I am also throwing in a couple Dodger stacks just to get a little bit of the exposure. I don't want to have a day go by. I don't think where I'm not going to play the Dodgers at least some. When they're going to be less than 5% owned.
What about Pittsburgh?
So Pittsburgh. So the main stacks for me is going to be San Diego. But as far as like Pittsburgh goes, I'm good with them. I'm using them more as filler pieces. Like I've got a ton of Brian Reynolds and Andrew McCutchen and just little pieces. Roddy Tellez. But I don't think that I want to do the full stacking as much. I'm treating my full stacks mostly between the Padres, Angels, and and the A's actually as my three highest owned full stacks. I do have a Cincinnati full stack. I know that's a little bit chalkier. That's where I have my Cincinnati full stack because they're going to have some ownership. That's the lineup I'll play Lance Lynn and James Paxton together, for example. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna eat some of the chalk, I'm gonna play these sub 10% pitchers. I think there's enough good stacks today where you don't need to eat the chalk. So that's the way I'm trying to treat it. But I don't mind using, the chalky Pittsburgh, Cincinnati plays more as fillers though than as stacks for me.
Now, again, you're not playing probably as many lineups as I am, but are you thinking of any more about that Milwaukee?
Yeah, but then I just thought there was too many other ones that I liked enough that I just didn't get there. And I do think it's a great sneaky stack though. I feel like it's a great stack for like the lottery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm playing I'm not going to play it in the 250 or the 121 or whatever, the single entry and all that kind of thing. But I do think that taking some shots because you're going to get like zero ownership, and Milwaukee's got some pop. I mean, they can do some things. I think that's an interesting idea. I keep getting Lorenzen wrong every time I try to play anybody against him. He throws like a one hitter, but sorry, I'm just looking at the lineups page here. Anyway, but yeah, I think there's a lot of viable ones. I liked what I came up with. I really like this Angels Oakland game, and I really like the San Diego side. I mean, San Diego is probably going to be about half of my lineups, basically. I just think that you're getting a sub 10% stack against Corbin on a shortish slate. I think that's a really, really good spot. You have to take advantage of it, in my opinion.
Did you mention anything about the San Diego pitcher?
Waldron. I didn't get to him, but I don't have any issue with it. I felt like I could easily have talked myself in or out on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did not have a strong take on him. But he's good enough to where I think it's totally reasonable if you wanted to play you get into the him versus Steele. I like Steele better, but if people want to play him over Steele, I don't think it's a big difference between those matchups. The one thing he's got better going for him that Steele doesn't have, and maybe I'll throw one Waldron as a pivot off of this. Steele just faced the San Francisco. I don't love playing pitchers in the back when they face the team the second time in a row, personally. But that's not a huge.
Well, I don't mind that too much.
It doesn't usually go. It usually goes the opposite of how the first game went. I swear.
Well, right. Well, that's fine then.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, that's what I'm doing. I feel pretty good about the San Diego, and also I think that every minute that goes by that they don't release their lineup or something, it's just a better chance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Anything on Tatis or no?
They don't. So I'm playing. I right now I'm in most of he's my highest owned player, and I don't know if he's going to play or not. and if he doesn't, San Diego's stack becomes very cheap. But if he does, but it also becomes obviously significantly weaker. So we have to sort of wait and see on that one. I'm just going to take a look at the Twitter and see if they've updated that. Thoughts on Waldron, Brendan's asking. Yeah, that was sort of my thoughts. I personally prefer Steele, but I don't think it's a huge gap between them. So I would be fine if I ended up with Waldron. I just didn't end up getting that much. Maybe I'll get him in one lineup by the time this lineup's lock. Yeah, he is cheap on FanDuel at 8,300. I don't know that you need to save that much money at pitching though on FanDuel. I don't really know that it benefits you. I mean, you look over here, and there's just so much value. And there's Tatis is 3,600, for example. So that's not like a crazy spend up, And I think this ownership makes a lot of sense to me. I think I would go Reagans, Crochet, Peralta probably in that order, just because I'm playing for ceiling for pitching always on FanDuel, where you only have one. And Waldron, it looks like they have him in the next highest owner, but it's only going to be 5%. So yeah, I think it's okay. I don't think that it's like oh my God, Matt Waldron is 8,300. I got to go play him. It's just, I think it's a good play. I think it's totally fine.
Kansas City, we talked about that a little bit, right?
That's going to be, I think, what the people. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at the ownership.
That's like the people stack, sort of.
I just think it's going to be I don't see how it's not going to be the most popular as a full stack. But I could be wrong, and it could end up being just the Pittsburgh thing. But let's take a look real quick and see what
Pittsburgh. I mean, I'm when I just run these at first. I mean, it's just all the Pittsburgh. It was crazy.
Yeah. But KC is pretty damn popular too. I think the KC numbers are lower also because two guys who were supposed to be 2,500 are not in the lineup like we thought they would be. Adam Frazier and Nick Lofton were both projected in earlier.
Oh, they're not in? They're
not in. So the ownerships, you can see it like there it is. Goldie's running stuff or whatever because it's still shifting. But I think you're going to see KC spike up on this list. Personally, I think
who was that? That lefty that I saw from that game. There's like 2,200. That was gonna be really a good play in one of these games. Shoot, Oakland. Is that guy in the Sudstrom or Sodstrom?
Soderstrom, yeah, he's in. He's batting fourth.
I mean,
he's. I'll tell you this: he's in 2 of my 3 biggest lineups.
It's a strong play, dude.
I mean, the guy's 2,300. The thing is,
he's 2,300. He hits the ball hard, and he's against the pitcher who's going to get some ownership. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And he's not going to be owned because the real reason he won't be owned though is going to be because Rowdy Tellez is the chalk value that everyone's going to go with at first, and he's 2,600.
Okay.
He's also much more likely to get pinch hit for. And Rowdy Tellez is like 1 or 2 home runs this year. Soderstrom is like 5 this week. No, it feels like that. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
It's just, I understand the hitting. It's in Cincinnati and all that stuff. I'm just going to say to everybody, it is so freaking hot for what I know. It's going to be a little bit cooler by the time to get the game plays, but 80 degrees in Anaheim for a night game is pretty damn hot. So the stadium, you can expect the old numbers that you just give it a little bit.
The stadium's been putting up some numbers.
It has this year, right? And it's weird. They have all these guys. They're a bad team, but they have all these guys who are like going to hit 25 or 30 home runs this season. Like even with Adele out, you know, like
even with the that's the one. That's the only thing that's irritating to me.
It's crazy.
No, Adele's in tonight.
Oh, well.
He's just down to the bottom. This is such a DFS player. Like, we love these numbers. He's hitting 180 this season, but he's got 12 home runs and a ton of doubles. Like, it's really funny, and a few stolen bases. But like, he's gonna. I mean, that's a lot of home runs for a guy who's batting 8th and 9th all the time. I don't know. He's just such a DFS type of guy's dream. He's going to strike out 3 times and probably hit a home run a good portion of the time. All right. So that, I mean, speaking of the value, if you're looking to try to squeeze in the defensive guys, Tellez and Soderstrom, both at first base, make a lot of sense. You just have I don't want to play Tim Anderson, but if you got stuck at shortstop and you want to take 2,100 for somebody and you're not playing Reagans in that lineup, I think that's fine. We also don't have the Angels lineup yet. Oh, we do have it now. Sorry. Let me see did it come out? They didn't start. What's his name? They started. No, they've got Neto in there. Was it Schumann who I thought was going to be in there? And that's for the A's. Schumann. Sorry. What am I missing here? Is he not in there? Maybe I missed this. It's always funny because we come on and then the starting lineups come out. So I'm just like, I have all the things I want to do and say, and then it's like, oh, this guy's not even playing, and he's my highest owned player. Yeah, he's not in today. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change some things because he's in a couple lineups for me on FanDuel. For what it's worth, the Padres are going to be much more popular on FanDuel, and that's also another reason why I like the idea of playing them on DraftKings. They're just really cheap. You look at the ownership; it's going to be much more condensed hitting wise. I'm showing you guys Goldie's projected ownership right here, and I got Sheets up there as well, but. You can see the heaviness of how many people are going to play Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I can't believe this many people are playing Boston guys. I feel like I'm missing something.
On FanDuel?
Yeah.
I'm running it right now, and I'll let you know what I get.
Yeah. I mean, they're showing up on FanDuel in a way that it doesn't really make sense to me even. I'm not sure I'm buying it. Why would they go against Bassett when you've got all these other spots? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just my personal take. And Salvador Perez really only going to be 12% owned over there? I don't think so. At the 2,900, I don't know. I'd certainly tell you in the high buy-ins, Salvador Perez will be 20+%. Guys like that, Machado, Tatis should be one of the most, if not the most popular player.
If he plays.
All the Pirates, yeah, if he plays, exactly. But yeah, so it should be a fun little play.
I'm doing this right now. Let me see FanDuel. For me, before I run Sims, I'm still they're still just demanding in writing that I take Pittsburgh.
Hey, look, it's a fine thing to take it. It's fine to go with. I have no issue. It's just not. I think it's going to end up being pretty popular. That's all I got.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I'll run the Sims, see if I get something different.
Let's see if I can do Neto.
I could almost get the stack exactly the way I wanted, but I couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, I don't. The Lance Lynn thing, I don't know if I can do that one.
Yeah, I just don't feel like this is even close to the same Oakland like Braves team without the guys that we're afraid of. All right. Ammoniac. Okay, yeah, that's what they did instead. Ugh, that was. I wish they did something different. All right, guys. Any questions or thoughts? Feel free to drop them in. Obviously, I'm not playing Lance Lynn like a crazy amount, but I would say that if you're not playing Lance Lynn, I do think people should be playing some of the Jared Klenick, leading off for Atlanta. He's actually been really good, and this kid had a lot of promise, and then just sort of had a rough go of it for a year. I think I think he's going to be a pretty solid player, and he's been really solid for them. All right. What else is happening? The Stanley Cup Finals tonight.
Yep.
I may actually watch a little bit of hockey. I actually enjoyed it. Like I said, I hadn't really watched in like 25 years, and I started watching some of the playoffs, especially with Edmonton, because I do like watching the McDavid.
He's crazy.
It's fun, man, to watch. Yeah, it's like if the game feels different than what I remember. It doesn't feel so sluggish. There's a lot of action and speed racing, and it feels like there's a lot more opportunities than there used to be to score.
Yeah.
It just so I've been enjoyed this one tonight for sure. And what have we got in the other stuff here? I'm looking at the soccer, see how my teams are doing.
Oh, you have a sweat?
No. I just have Euro bet.
No, but who do you root for? I mean,
so like there's the one we do where we all get assigned. Everybody, we take a group of, I guess, however many teams there are, 20 some whatever, and we all get assigned a team randomly. So that team I just got assigned randomly was Ukraine, which is not necessarily great, but and then you get paid out.
And do you get whoever beats them or something?
And so then you play. So basically, so they have to. It's like just the top of it. So you really have to come in the top four. You have to have your team has to come in the top four to make any money back. But that's just the random one. Then there's the other one where we had like little friendly bets on it. I had Germany like versus England. Everybody, all my British friends wanted to bet me on England, so I have Germany to finish further in the tournament than them. And just a couple other like little small things. I think I had France not to make the Final Four with somebody because they give me good odds at some. But it's for like these are for like $20, $30, not like a huge bet, but it's just kind of fun to do with friends. Let's see, what am I looking at here? Who's going to make it? Okay, so those the ones with three. Yeah, Germany, Switzerland. Oh, Switzerland's another one that I had advancing. That's good. Okay. All right. Anything else, guys? Happy to hang out here, but we've got a call in a few minutes that we'll get on, and that's really all I got. But I don't have a whole lot more to add color-wise to this baseball slate.
All right. So we'll get out of here, and I guess we'll see everybody tomorrow.
Sounds good. Good luck tonight, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the Discord if any questions or anything arises. And remember, Rody asked us politely. We've got to be kind to him because he's been hot, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's still getting out his playbook every day, so we'll have to tag Rody if anybody's announced out of the starting lineup because he had to set his lineups and then go to his kid's game or something.
All right, I'll see you in a few minutes, Bob.